sensitives get together, and I want to see what they can pick up on. And also, too, the sensitives, I don't want you sharing your information. I want you to talk to Timmy separately. So what I did right now is I broke it up into a group of sensitives and a group of non-sensitives. The non-sensitives will be able to roam around the house wherever they want to go and conduct their investigation.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Can you explain, I'll bring it back in, can you explain the difference between a sensitive and a non-sensitive and what they are?
Okay, non-sensitive would be somebody like me, which I don't pick up on anything. I don't get any kind of psychic impressions or anything like that. A sensitive is able to actually pick up on psychic impressions. They feel it. They're actually sensitive to those psychic vibrations.
Okay, because that would be like if you go into a house and you say, this place is evil, and run out screaming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you walk in. I walk in like everything's normal to me, but somebody else who's sensitive
that's
says.
Interesting, Paul. I'm gonna say this. This is interesting because you're not as sensitive, and yet you got into this field. And most of the people that I think we've had on this program that have done paranormal investigations have had some sort of experiences themselves in touch with something, and that's what led them to this. And yet you go in there with a very open mind and everything like that, and you do a great job and you find some great things, but you yourself are not sensitive to those feelings. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Did you get into this, Paul, because you're an investigator?
No. Well, a little bit. But, okay, when I was a child, ages from 1 to 8, most children have those psychic antennas.
Yes, and then I think what happens to them is that people dismiss those abilities, and then they just become introverted, and they're like, hey, I don't have those abilities, and this didn't really happen. They kind of get MK Ultra'd into not talking about those.
You know what they do, Penny, is maybe a little bit later on they say, that was just your imaginary friend.
Exactly. Yes,
so
imaginary friend. Well, anyway, I lived in a haunted house, and I was a very young boy, ages from 6 to 7 for me, and I was being attacked by entities and everything else. And when when I grew up, after age 8, I wasn't a sensitive. I wasn't picking up on psychic impressions anymore. Wasn't seeing my imaginary friend. And this happened on Effie Street in Fresno. But anyway, as I got older, I started reading paranormal books like Brad Steiger and stuff like that. And I got into Eric Von Daniken's Chariot of the Gods and all that other stuff. So I was very in tune on the paranormal. And
I would say you are a sensitive, Paul. You've just, at some point you turned it off. You had the ability to turn it off, because I believe that we all have those abilities. But I think at some point you were just like, nope, I don't want to see this anymore.
No, I'm a sensitive when people call me names.
Well, I was going to say, maybe if Penny is onto something and you really accidentally turned it off, I would just try unplugging it and plugging it back in, or Control-Alt-Delete. Maybe the brain will.
You can't do that. It's like when I was having a lot of dreams, a lot of vivid dreams, and they were coming true. I'm not talking about visions. I'm talking about the visions are with your eyes open. But I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't actually have time for these dreams because to investigate them all, because some of them were coming true, and it can be horrific when you see some bad things. But it's, I believe, a gift from God. For instance, a mother has a dream about her child getting in a car accident, and she warns the child, and it averts the accident. So I think this is something that we all have, Paul, and I think that you are sensitive, but at some point you cognitively decided, even as a child, no, this is too much. I'm closing that door. But I think you can still open it anytime you want to. That's just my opinion.
I have walls all around me.
Right? I have walls.
Yeah,
I have
walls.
physical walls. Shall we continue playing this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
They will stay out of the area where the sensitives are. The sensitives will not communicate with each other and see what they feel. Later on, what we're going to do is we're going to interview each group separately to see if their stories coincide with each other, to see if there was any realistic paranormal experiences that the sensitives received.
Small openings in the attic.
Okay, listen up. Okay, things are starting to happen. It's starting to get late in the night. So activity starts picking up when it gets later. And Renee, where's Renee at? Okay, Renee. Renee got a really, really good EVP. And listen to this EVP. I want everybody to be really quiet because it sounds like someone's saying Ray.
Ray lives in this house?
Face pictures throughout the house, and one of his pictures.
Yeah,
shows
there's
that
a
the
Ray
kitchen
that lived in
cabinets
that house.
Were all closed. But if you walk by the kitchen cabinets a little bit later,
I'm gonna stop it for just a second. So, Ray, who lived in the house, did you find out who that was?
He was a previous owner, and apparently he died at the house of a
He
stroke.
died at the house?
Yeah, he died of a stroke. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
The owners of the house at the present time, they did all their historical research. They had all the documents. They made copies of it. They showed it to me. Yeah.
Did they call you in?
Yeah, they called me in. Yeah.
Why did they call you in?
Well, HPI at that time was pretty popular. So, we were doing investigations with Skinwalker Ranch, Area 51. So we were pretty well blown up, and it's like everybody was calling us. So they called it.
I would really like to know some of your notes on Skywalker and also on Area 51. That would be fascinating to bring in maybe next time we talk. Okay, I'm going to bring it back in.
Okay.
open.
Is every single one open?
Every single one is open. We just went through the attic within the past, within 10 minutes of the cabinets being open. And he went through and opened them, and I closed behind him. Went in the first bedroom, put a recorder up, came back out, all of them were open.
My Aunt Sonia was up in the attic taking pictures, and that's when you were there as well. As she came down from the ladder, then you started walking towards the back bedroom. We were behind you, and they were closed. Like right then, they were closed. But as soon as we walked into the living room, and Paul was already in there, like on the phone messing around. He's got the phone. We went in there to him and talked to him for about 2 or 3 minutes. And as soon as we walked back towards the kitchen area, I mean, when someone walks in there, you can hear it. You know what I'm saying? We walked back in there, all the cabinets were open. Like, every single one of them were just like open.